إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أما بعد إخوتي وأخواتي في الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, as we all know that we are approaching a new month from the month of the Muslims, and that is the month of Dhul Hijjah, which is the 12th month. We are in the 11th month of the year 1438, and this is the month of Dhul Qa'dah, which inshallah in a day or 2 days will be coming to an end, and inshallah we'll be taking another month, which is the month of Dhul Hijjah. The month of Dhul Qa'dah and that of Dhul Hijjah are part of the sacred moons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna iddata shuhur inda Allahi ithna ashara shahran fi kitabillah يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها أربعة حرم ذلك دين القيم فلا تظلموا فيهن أنفسكم. Allah says the number of the moons before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is 12. Among these 12 moons, 4 out of them are sacred. And the Messenger of Allah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in authentic hadith mentioned the 4 sacred moons. He said 3 are consecutive. He mentioned them as Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah and Al-Muharram. Then the 4th one is what he called Rajab Mudar, the month of Rajab. These 4 moons, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, Al-Muharram and Rajab, they are sacred moons. Allah says, فَلَا تَظْلِمُوا فِيهِنَّ أَنفُسَكُمْ. Do not wrong yourselves and do not wrong one another in this month. That doesn't mean we can wrong ourselves or wrong one another in other months. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the sacredness of these 4 months. Any sin committed or injustice perpetrated in any of these 4 months does not have the same weight as the injustice perpetrated outside any of the 4 months. So this injustice or evil or sin committed in any of these 4 months is far, far greater than the sin or injustice committed in any other month. What you are trying to say is that we are in a sacred month. which is the month of Zulqa'dah. And we are going to enter another sacred month, inshallah, which is the month of Dhul Hijjah. The sacredness of a month does not mean that we should now institute an ibadah in that month. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us about the sacredness of Dhul Qa'dah, that doesn't mean we should institute some acts of worship that are not mentioned by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. However, with respect to the month that is coming, which is the month of Dhul Hijjah, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us about the importance of the righteous deeds done in it. Messenger of Allah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, مَا مِنْ أَيَّامٍ الْعَمَلُ الصَّالِحُ فِيهِنَّ أَحَبُّ إِلَى اللَّهِ مِنْ هَذِهِ الْأَيَّامِ الْعَشْرِ. There are no days of the days of the year that good deeds in them are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. No days in the days of the year that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the deeds done in them more than the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Just as there are no nights that good deeds in them are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Because in the last 10 nights of Ramadan we have Laylatul Qadr. The last 10 nights of Ramadan, they are the most beloved nights to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Laylatul Qadr out of them all is the most beloved night of all the nights of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. When we go by the days, the most beloved days to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. The first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us. He gives us the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and He puts a particular night in it which the ibadah done in it is more than the ibadah done in 1,000 months, which is 83 years plus. Ibadah done at that particular night is more than the ibadah done in 83 years plus. The first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah also has huge rewards, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said on the tongue of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Ma min ayyamin al-amalu salihu fihinna ahabbu ila Allah min hadhihi al-ayyam al-ashr." There are no days the good deeds in them are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the first 10 nights. When we say good deeds, you all know what good deeds are. Good deeds are things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, starting from the salah, zakah or sadaqah, likewise performance of hajj, performance of umrah, being nice to the parents, being nice to one's wives, being nice to one's husband, the children, doing sadaqah to people. Anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves constitutes what is called al-amal salih, good deed. The best time that one can do good deed is in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. These are the best time that the deeds that we do get more reward than the deed that we do in other days of the year. Just as the deeds that we do in the last 10 nights get more reward than the deeds that we do in other than the last 10 nights of Ramadan. So the Prophet ﷺ emphasizing doing righteous deeds in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So he was telling the companions, مَا مِنْ أَيَّامٍ الْعَمَلُ الصَّالِحُ فِيهِنَّ أَحَبُّ إِلَى اللَّهِ مِنْ هَذِهِ الْأَيَّامِ الْعَشْرِ. There are no days of the year that good deeds in them are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So anything we know of good deeds, anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves, anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recommends, these first 10 days are the best time that we can increase in those good deeds. So if you're observing nafila, you try to watch to perfect and increase your nafila, the citation of the Quran, doing a lot of adhkar, and so on and so forth. These are the best time that we can do these things. Now that doesn't mean we should desist from good deeds outside these 10 days. But it's telling us that we should increase our good deeds in these first 10 days of the Hijjah. Thus as we are told to increase our good deeds in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. So one shouldn't understand that outside the last 10 nights of Ramadan, so one should not engage in good deeds. One should not understand that outside the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, one should not engage in good deeds. Just as we said that the sacred days of this month doesn't mean what? It is permissible for us to do wrong things outside those months. Rather, we should desist more from what? From evil deeds outside those in these months. So this is what the sacredness of the month, what they mean. Likewise, trying to increase in good deeds in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah is something that is encouraged. To the extent that the companions, they said, وَلَا الْجِهَادُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. They said, O Messenger of Allah, do you mean that if I do jihad outside the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, I participate in the battle, in the war, the holy war that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sanctions, I participate in it despite the reward of jihad in the cause of Allah? Do you mean it's not equal to the good deed done in any of the first 10 days of the Hijjah? Messenger of Allah said, وَلَا الْجِهَادُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Even jihad in the cause of Allah outside these 10 days does not have the same reward as the jihad done in these 10 days or any other deed done in these 10 days. Messenger of Allah now said, what can be equal to it? إِلَّا رَجُلٌ خَرَجَ بِنَفْسِهِ وَمَالِهِ وَلَمْ يَرْجِعِ مِنْ ذَلِكَ بِشَيْءٍ. The only jihad that can be likened to it is the jihad of somebody who goes out on his horse with his weapon, and such a person is killed in the battlefield. Both his weapons and his horse or his material, everything go away. Everything goes away. He does not return with anything. He loses everything in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the only meritorious deed that can be likened to a deed done in any of the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So meaning, brothers and sisters, we have huge rewards awaiting us. Just some few days, a day or 2 days to the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Huge rewards awaiting us. So we should seize this opportunity to maximize this reward. We should seize this opportunity to maximize this the reward of these 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So the Prophet ﷺ encouraged his companions to do this. Ma min ayyamin, there are no days, al-amalu salihu fihinna, good is in them, ahabbu ila Allah, that are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala min hadhihi al-ayyam al-ashr, than these 10 days. قالوا ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله, he said, not even jihad in the cause of Allah. قال ولا الجهاد في سبيل الله, he said, not even jihad in the cause of Allah. إلا رجل خرج بنفسه وماله ولم يرجع من ذلك بشيء, except somebody who goes out with itself, likewise his property, and he does not come back with any of this. Such a person can be said to have gotten what? Which reward? That is equal to that of the one who does anything in the first 10 days of check that one. The man that came in later. That can be equal to the reward of the one who does a good deed in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Now these days of Dhul Hijjah, we said they are the best days, just as we have the last 10 nights of Ramadan as the best nights of the year. Now when we say the best day, that doesn't mean we are comparing the week of the days of the week, like Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and something like that. The best of all the days of the week is Friday, as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said in the hadith reported by many scholars and reporters of hadith, that the Prophet ﷺ said, خير يوم طلعت عليه الشمس يوم الجمعة, the best day that the sun rises is the day of Jumua. Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that day, فيه خلق آدم, that was the day Adam was created, وفيه أدخل الجنة وفيه أخرج منها, that was the day he was created, the day he was put in Al-Jannah, the day he was taken out of Al-Jannah. وَلَا تَكُومُ السَّاعَةُ إِلَّا فِيهِ, and it is on Friday that the day of resurrection, the hour will be established. The hour will be established. So that is what خَيْرُ يَوْمٍ طَلَعَتِ فِيهِ الشَّمْسُ, the best day that the sun rises. So when we talk about the days of the week, Friday is the best. But when we talk about the days of the year, the first 10 days are the best. When we talk about the best nights, we say what? The last 10 nights of Ramadan are the best. The last 10 nights of Ramadan are the best. And the best of the last 10 nights of Ramadan is the night of Qadr. The night of Qadr, which moves from one place to another. It may be on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, like that. But the best night of the night of Ramadan or the year is the night of Al-Qadr, and which is what present in the last 10 nights of Ramadan. The best days of the year are the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, which is the best day of the year, the best day, not the best days now, the best day of the year. A lot of scholars they said the best day of the year is the day of Arafah, the day of Arafah, based on what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, that inni asumu yawm Arafah ahtasibu ala Allah أن يكفر السنة الماضية والسنة المستقبلة. He said, I will fast the day of Arafah expecting from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to wipe away the sin of the past year and the sin of the coming year. So if one is going to have one sins of the past year wiped away in a day, for fasting a day, that means that day is a very great day. That means that day is a very great day. So, and that's why some scholars say it is the best day of the year. The best day of the year. In addition to that, it is said that the Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yubahi al-malaikata bi'ibadihi. Allah will be boasting of His servants to the angels, particularly on the day of Arafah, in the evening of Arafah. Allah will say to them that these are my servants, atawni shu'than ghubran. They've come to me and they are short, they are dishevelled, ghubran, why their legs have gathered dust, begging me, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala His favor. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be proud of His servants at the plain of Arafah, in the evening of Arafah, on the night of the Hijjah. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, as Al-Imam Muslim reported, ما من يوم أكثر من أن يعتق الله فيه عبدا. There is no day that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would set free from hell a servant min yomi Arafah, than the day of Arafah. Than the day of Arafah. Inna Allah la yadnu. Allah would draw near and He will be saying to the angels that these are my servants. Mada arada awla. What do they want from me? What do they want me to do? I'm ready to do whatever they want me to do. I'm ready to answer and accept their supplications. So for this reason, a lot of scholars say the best day of the year absolutely is the day of Arafah. Some said no, the best day is the day of An-Nahr, the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, which is one of the first 10 days. And this is based on an authentic hadith that was reported by Al-Imam Abu Dawud, likewise Al-Imam Ahmad before him, from the hadith of Abdullah ibn Qurt radiyallahu anhu, who said the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Inna a'adham al-ayyam 'inda Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. The greatest day, Inna a'adham al-ayyam, the greatest day 'inda Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is Yawm al-Nahr thumma Yawm al-Qarr. Yawm al-Nahr thumma Yawm al-Qarr, the day of Nahr, which is the 10th day of the Hijjah. Thumma Yawm al-Qarr, then after that the day of Qarr, which is the 11th day, the 11th day of Dhul Hijjah. Yawm al-Nahr is said to be the greatest day. In another report they said what? Afdal, the best. So this is why the scholars they've differed. Which one is the best day? Is it the day of Arafah or the day of Nahr? Now the word Inna A'zam al-Ayyam, the greatest day, is used in the hadith. So when we say the greatest day, it means because of what the great deeds that are done in that particular day, and that may make it be the best day. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala trying to reconcile between these ahadith and differences of the scholars on which day is the most beloved day or the best day to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, fine, it is mentioned specifically that in a'adham al-ayyami inda Allah, the greatest day. Because when we look at the day of Nahar, that is the day of slaughtering, on the night of that day, people will move from Arafah to Muzdalifah. And in Muzdalifah, people will sleep there in the open place, and they will be subjected to wind and the likes. And they are doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will be there till Subh. They observe Salatul Subh. They will be there till the sun is about to rise, and they leave that place. Then they will be making takbir, going to Mina to throw pebbles, doing zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, throwing pebbles, shaving the air, slaughtering, doing tawaf, coming back to Mina, being there. So many good deeds that one does on that particular day. So this qualifies the day to be what? The greatest day of the year. In fact, it may qualify it to be the best day. People who do not perform Hajj, they are at home slaughtering their what? Slaughtering their own ram as well, their sacrificial animal. Likewise, observing Salatul Eid, glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So all this, they contribute to the fact that the day of Nahr is what is the best day. So Shaykh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala said, Wallahu a'lam, the best day and the greatest day is the day of Nahr. So some scholars, they try to reconcile that. When we look at the forgiveness of sins, we say the best day is the day of Arafah. Ma min yawmin, there is no day that akthar min an yu'tiqa Allahu fi abdan min yawmi Arafah. When we look at forgiveness of sin, the day of Arafah is the best. But when we look at the day that people do a lot of good deeds, we say what? The day of Nahr is the best. This is a reconciliation that some scholars try to do. But generally speaking, most people, they believe what? The day of Arafah is the best day. But this is something that is subject to difference of opinion. When we look at the one that the text clearly mentions, we said what? Inna a'zama al-ayyam inda Allah tabarak wa ta'ala yawmun nahri thumma yawm al-qarr. The best and the greatest day before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is yawmun nahr, the day of slaughtering, thumma yawm al-qarr. Then the following day. The following day is called Yawm al-Qarr because most people will be in Mina. For those who have performed Hajj, they will be in Mina, glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What I'm trying to say in essence is that these first 10 days are days of ibadat. They are days that we can increase our good deeds. They are days that our good deeds are more rewardable. They are more rewardable. And that is why one of the wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as Imam Abu Dawud reported, she said, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يصوم 9 ذي الحجة. Messenger of Allah who fasts the first 9 days of the Hijjah, the first 9 days of the Hijjah. كان يصوم 9 ذي الحجة. He will fast the first 9 days of the Hijjah. The 9th day being what? The day of Arafah. The day of Arafah. And we have the hadith that what encourages us to fast the day of Arafah. So the Messenger of Allah would endeavor to fast the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah. So if you can do that, that is the best for us. Likewise, we engage in azkar, recitation of the Quran, the doing of takbir, doing of tahleel, at-tahmid. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ وَيَذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام, so that they can witness their benefits, and so that what they can mention the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in those noon days. The scholars, they say al-ayyam al-ma'lumat hiya ashru dhul hijjah, they are the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Wa yadhkuru ismallahi fi ayyamin ma'lumatin, and so that they can mention the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in those noon days, ala ma razaqahu min bahimatil an'am, for what He has provided them of the sacrificial animal. In the first 10 days, that is when we try to do the slaughtering. The slaughtering comes on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, and that's why they call it Yawm al-Nahr. The slaughtering starts on Yawm al-Nahr, it continues on Yawm al-Qarr, and it continues on Yawm al-Nafr al-Awwal, which is the 12th day. Does it extend to Yawm al-Nafr al-Thani? Some scholars say this, but what most scholars and companions are upon is that the slaughtering ends on Yawm al-Nafr al-Awwal, which is the 12th day. So meaning we have 3 days for slaughtering, 10, 11, 12, according to most companions. Some scholars will say 13th inclusive, but those ahadith on 13th are da'if. They are da'ifah. The ones that are authentic and the practices of the companions are 10, 11 and 12. So they are called what? They are called Yawm al-Nafri, Yawm al-Qarr, Yawm al-Nafri al-Awwal, and Yawm al-Nafri al-Thani. That is the 13 inclusive, Yawm al-Nafri al-Thani. But those 3 days after Yawm al-Nahri, altogether they are called Ayyam al-Tashriq. Ayyam al-Tashriq. They call them Ayyam al-Tashriq because when people slaughter their animals, maybe on the 10th of the Hijjah, they will try to do Tashriq. That is as if they are exposing the slaughtered meat, the slaughtered animal, they are exposing the meat to what? To sun. So that the sun will do Tashriq of it, will make it dry from, so they call it Ayyam al-Tashriq. So Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also told us Ayyamu Tashriq, Ayyamu Aklin wa Shurbin wa Dhikrillah. The Ayyamu Tashriq, the Ayyam of eating, drinking, and what? Remembrance of Allah. And that is why it is advised for those who do not perform Hajj to do the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the subh of Arafah till the evening of what? Of Ayyam al-Tashriq, the last day of Ayyam al-Tashriq. They do remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيَذْكُرُ اسْمَ اللَّهِ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْلُومَاتٍ عَلَى مَا رَزَقَهُ مِنْ بَهِيمَةِ الْأَنْعَامِ. Because they are also slaughtering. They are slaughtering as well. Those who perform Hajj are slaughtering, and those who do not perform Hajj are also slaughtering. And that is why it is advisable to do the ibadah well for those who have the intention of slaughtering. Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, as contained authentic hadith, which was reported by Imam Muslim, Imam Abu Dawud, and many others, that إذا دخل العشر, when the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah come in, إذا أراد أحدكم أن يضحي, if any one of you wants to slaughter, فلا يأخذن من شعره ولا من أظفاره شيئا, he should not take anything of his hair, not that of the head, nor that of the armpit, nor that of he shouldn't take that of the pubic hair. Then he should not cut his fingernail or his toenail, he shouldn't cut them hatta yudahiyah, until it does the slaughter. This is a ibadah as well, that one is going to get a reward for. That one is going to get a reward for. This is for the one who wants to do slaughtering. That is who is slaughtering. Whether he's buying with his money or somebody is given to him, as long as what he has the animal with him, Or he does not have the animal, but the money is there, that all he needs to do is just to buy it. So such a person has had the intention that he's going to slaughter. So in a situation like this, he should not cut his hair, not his pubic hair, nor his armpit hair, nor the hair of his head. And he shouldn't clip his fingernail. So because of that intention. As for the one who does not have the intention of slaughtering, this is not applicable to him. But let's assume somebody does not have the intention of slaughtering, but maybe on the 3rd or 4th or 5th of Dhul Hijjah or 6th, he has the financial wherewithal to slaughter. Or he receives a gift from somebody, a gift of an animal, a sacrificial animal. Is that hadith still applicable to him? Yes, it's still applicable to him, because now he has had the intention of slaughter. All these are ibadats that we do. So we should try as much as possible to maximize these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Now, as for the slaughtering, the animal that we are going to slaughter, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam let us know, Arba'un la tujzi'u fil adai. When you want to slaughter, 4 things are not okay. Al-a'ra al-bayyinu awaruha. The one-eyed animal is not okay. One-eyed animal that is clear that this is one-eyed. Al-bayyinu awaruha. Likewise, al-arja'u al-bayyinu arajuha. The one that has problem with his legs, not okay. That is clear. If it is not clear that he has problem with his leg, we can make use of. But al-bayyinu arajuha, that the araj that is not working well, this is what is not okay. Wal maridatul bayyinu maraduha, and the one that is sick, clearly sick, is not okay. Likewise, wal kasir aw al kasiratu lati la tunki, the one that doesn't have what? Maru, very slim animal. This is not allowed for sacrificial animal. And the one who is going to slaughter must not slaughter until after the salah. If he slaughters before the salatul Eid, as Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Abu Burda bin Niyar, he told him, Sha'atuka sha'atu lahmin, your slaughtering is for food, not for reward. The one for reward must be after the salah, must be after the salah, not before salah, because this is ibadah, and the ibadah must be done at the right time, not at the time that we feel like doing it. Abu Burda made a mistake by slaughtering before salah. The Messenger of Allah did not say, okay, no problem, Allah is going to accept it for you like that. Despite the fact that he had good intention with that, he said he slaughtered so that people could eat before they go for salah. The Messenger of Allah said, what? Sha'atuka sha'atu lahmi. And this is why scholars will tell us that when you make mistake in ibadah, you have to correct it. You have to what? Do the correction. Somebody who slept with his wife in the month of Ramadan, during the day of Ramadan, he knew it was wrong to sleep with one's wife, but the penalty that is attached to it, he didn't know. The Sharia will not say because he doesn't know the penalty attached to it that he will be punished for it, since he knows this thing is what? It's haram. Look at the case of Abu Burda. He didn't know it is haram. Messenger of Allah did not say, okay. He still faulted him for that. Now, in the case of that man that knew that sleeping with one's wife in the day of Ramadan is haram, he did not know the punishment attached to it. So he was what? The punishment attached to it and the penalty attached to it was taught. The punishment and that's why anything ibadah you have to be what? Careful before you do it. One shouldn't say, I don't know. You have to learn. Particularly when you have the opportunity of learning. When you refuse to learn, when you have the opportunity of learning, you don't have anybody to blame except yourself. So Messenger of Allah told him point blank, Sha'atuka sha'atu lahmi. That animal is not the one that you are going to get reward for. It's the one that is meant for eating. You kill this so that people could eat. People have eaten. So Sha'atuka sha'atu lahmin, not the sha'atu of what? Of ibadah. So all these are things that you ought to know. These first 10 days that is approaching, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us all witness them. They are time that we can maximize the reward. Messenger of Allah will tell us all this so that we can increase in good deeds. So we have the day of Arafah there, we have the day of Nahr there. But the most unfortunate thing is that a lot of people, instead of applying what Allah said and implementing it, وَيَذْكُرُ اسْمَ اللَّهِ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْلُومَاتٍ, and so that they can remember Allah in those known days, عَلَى مَا رَزَقَهُمْ مِنْ بَهِيمَةِ الْأَنْعَامِ, for making it possible for them to have those sacrificial animals. They will use the sacrificial animals that they are slaughtering in order to engage in things that are ma'asi, that are sinful. So some people will use it as a day of drinking intoxicants, of the day of committing zina, illicit acts, and so on and so forth. Where Allah said what? Allah is saying, وَيَذْكُرُ اسْمَ اللَّهِ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْلُومَاتٍ عَلَى مَا رَزَقَهُمْ مِنْ بَهِيمَةِ الْأَنْعَامِ. So they will be showing ingratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rather than being grateful. And that's why it's a blessing for us as Muslims that we get reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will explain it to us. The Messenger of Allah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will tell us, a wise Muslim and a serious and sincere Muslim is the one who tries to maximize the reward that has been mentioned. مَا مِنْ أَيَّامٍ الْعَمَلُ الصَّالِحُ فِيهِنَّ, there are no days in the year the goodies in them are more beloved to Allah min adil ayyam al-ashr, than these 10 days. So we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it possible for us to observe the days and to witness the days. And there are some issues that are likely to come up as some people are out speculating. Let's assume that maybe the day of Arafah happens to be on a Friday. As we mentioned earlier, the best day of the week is Friday, undoubtedly. خير يوم طلعت فيه الشمس يوم الجمعة. Clear hadith. But it has been established, the fact that a day is declared to be what? The best day or sacred doesn't mean what? You should institute ibadah in there. Or the fact that a place is declared to be a sacred place doesn't mean what? You should do ibadah in those places because they are sacred. You have to follow the text. Take for instance, Arafah is not a sacred place. Arafah is not a sacred place. Why Mina, Muzdalifah are what? Sacred places. Just like what? Makkah. The sin you committed, or one commits in Muzdalifah, in Mina, in Makkah, they are greater than the sin one commits in Arafah. But when you talk about Hajj, Al-Hajj Arafah. Al-Hajj Arafah. Your Hajj is what? Is your Arafah. When you do not participate in Arafah, you cannot make any amendment. You have lost the Hajj of that year. Why Arafah is what? Is Hillu. Just like any other places are what? Hillu. Nigeria Hillu. Huh? But Makkah, Muzdalifah, Mina, they are what? The Haram. At times they refer to them as what? Al-Masjidul Haram. Huh? They refer to them at times as what? Al-Masjidu Al-Haram. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran. And at times Al-Masjid Al-Haram will be used to refer to what? The Kaaba itself. The masjid that what? That surrounds the Kaaba. Built around the Kaaba. It can be called what? Al-Masjid Al-Haram. And at times they refer to the whole Haram as what? So the sacredness of a place doesn't mean what you should institute. Now Yawm al-Jum'ah is a sacred day. But can I single it out that I want to fast on what? On Jumu'ah day because of the sacredness? If I do that, or anyone does that, that is bid'ah. And that's why Messenger of Allah said, لا تختصوا يوم الجمعة بصيام من بين الأيام. Don't single out Friday for fasting apart from what other days. In another hadith, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, as Imam Bukhari reported, لا يصومن أحدكم يوم الجمعة إلا يوما قبله أو يوما بعده. None of you should fast on Friday, the best day of the week. إلا يوما قبله أو يوما بعده, unless if you fast a day before or a day after. Messenger of Allah told Juwairiya, his wife, when she was fasting on a Friday, Asumti Ams, did you fast yesterday? She said no. Aturijina and Tasumi Gadan, do you have the intention of fasting tomorrow, which is what, Saturday? She said la. Messenger of Allah said, for after it, go and break your fast. Asking her not to fast on what? The most beloved day of the week. Because you can't single it out. Now, we want to fast the day of Arafah, as Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam encourages us. But it falls on what? On a Friday. What is the way out? Fasting a day before, which is what? Yawm al-Khamis. And that will be 8th of what? Dhul Hijjah. I'm just assuming if it falls that way, it may not be that way. But let's assume, as people are just speculating and spreading, that Arafah is likely to do what? On Friday. Meaning we are going to fast Thursday and what? Friday. With that, we have agreed with the hadith, لا يصومن أحدكم يوم الجمعة إلا يوما قبله ويوما بعده. At the same time, we have agreed with what? لا تختص يوم الجمعة بصيام من بين الأيام. We have combined those ahadith. Some people may say, but the day of Arafah is a very rewardable day, and so we can single it out for fasting, even if it falls on Friday. Some scholars say this, but this is not correct. In that, somebody can argue the same way. Monday is a very important day. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "What? Turadul a'mal ila Rabbil alamin." The deeds are taken to the Lord of the world. But let's assume that Monday happens to be the day of Eid. Are we going to fast it? We have had texts that watch Na'an Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Sawm Yawm Eid. Messenger of Allah forbade fasting on the day of Eid. So one shouldn't say, but it is on Monday. Fasting on Monday is very rewardable, so I'm going to fast. If one does that, one has disobeyed the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So the same thing, you can say Arafah is very rewardable. I'm going to fast it, I'm going to single it out. Messenger of Allah said, what? لا تختص يوم الجمعة بصيام من بين الأيام. So but there is a way out. That way out is what? Fasting on Thursday, the day before. With that you agree with me. Then you can't fast the second day. Why? Yawm Eid. And you have been forbidden from that. So the only alternative you have is to fast Yawm al-Khamis. So these are some of the things that are very, very important that we ought to know concerning this. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us witness the month and many more. May subhanahu wa ta'ala make it possible for us to do righteous deeds in them and accept our ibadat. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك. No.
That the judge should want that demarcation as people beyond. That means they are outside. Are they going outside as in another or?
Naam, alhamdulillah, salatu salam rasulullah wa. Now, the question is with respect to Arafah, the Namira, the masjid here. It is said that people should not go out. Those who are performing Hajj should not go out of that place. There is a demarcation. that if they go out of that place, they have gone out of the plain of Arafah. And we mentioned earlier on that Al-Hajj Arafah, the one who does not witness Arafah has not performed Hajj. And that's why scholars, they talked about this issue of Arafah. Messenger of Allah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man salla ma'ana hadhihi as-salah," whoever observed this salah with us. He was talking about Salatu as-Subh in Muzdalifah. Whoever prays this salah with us, that is in Muzdalifah, Salatu as-Subh, wa kana qad ata Arafatin, and he had gone to Arafah, laylan aw nahara, laylan aw nahara, maybe in the morning, that is in the day or in the night. Arafah, being on the plain of Arafah, extends from what? From the day till the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, the 10th. But not all the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, part of the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, from the night of Dhul Hijjah till the Subh of Dhul Hijjah. So the one who has the opportunity of what? Attending Arafah from the morning of Dhul Hijjah, of Arafah, till the Subh of the 10th, which is Yawm al-Nahr, till the Subh. So that is what? The time of Arafah. Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, فَقَدْ تَمَّ حَجُّهُ وَقَدْ تَفَثَ. His Hajj is what is okay. And that's why the other hadith said what? Al-Hajj Arafah. So it is not a must that being on the plain of Arafah must be on the night only. It extends to part of what? Of the tent. But that part should not go beyond what? Subh. So this statement was made by the Prophet when somebody came and said, "O Messenger of Allah, I was coming and I did not leave any mountain unreached." That is, how is my Hajj? Messenger of Allah said, if you have what? Been to the mountain of Arafah, the plain of Arafah, then that means your Hajj is okay. But if you have not been there, that means what? No Hajj. So what I'm trying to say is that the plain of Arafah, there is demarcation that you know this is what? This is the boundary of Arafah. Arafah begins here, Arafah ends here. You see so the one who does not be or who is not in that plane throughout this time, this period, such a person has no Hajj. But if he has been there, maybe for 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, he was on that plane, then he leaves, he now goes to somewhere else, he has Hajj. Only that what his reward may not be as full as those who stay from the time that they are supposed to stay till what? Till sunset. Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam set out after sunrise from Mina, and what? He got to Arafah. He was staying somewhere at Arafah before what? He went to the main place that he went after what? The Salah, and was making his supplication till sunset. This is the best time. But today you see people practice this till they leave in the middle of the night. Now, is this completely wrong? We say it's what? It's khilaf sunnah. It's not in line with the sunnah. But do they have Hajj? They have Hajj. Because where they are going to, what they are expected to do is what? To be at the plain of Arafah. And that's why Imam Ahmad was of the opinion that if they got there in the morning and they stay there and they leave, for instance, they have Hajj, but they are sinful for not staying up till what? Sunset. Because the sunnah, and it is compulsory, is for you to stay till sunset. So if one leaves before sunset, one has Hajj, but the Hajj is not it's not perfect. I hope this clear. So the one who goes out of that place, we have to know whether he has been there before. If he has been there before, he has Hajj. But if he has not been there before, he stays outside that place, So you may be staying what? In part of Muzdalifah. And on the night of the Hijjah, you are not supposed to watch, to stay in what? In Muzdalifah. You are supposed to be in Arafah. You are supposed to be in Arafah. So if one stays in Muzdalifah till the morning, the subh of a person has no Hajj. But I didn't know. No. That is not an excuse. He has what? He has no Hajj. And that's why one has to ask, this place I'm staying, is it Arafah? Is it Arafah? The same thing when one is leaving Arafah for Muzdalifah. So where one is going to watch? To stay. This place that I'm staying, is it Muzdalifah? One has to ask, oh, I'm staying in Arafah. Because one has to be in Muzdalifah, it's compulsory to be there. Some scholars said it is a pillar to be there. But Wallahu Alam, the correct view is that what? Being in Muzdalifah is what? Is compulsory. The one does not stay in Muzdalifah as Hajj, but he has lost a huge reward. And scholars will say he has to what? Slaughter sacrificial animal for doing that. Then he will be in what? In Muzdalifah at least till the middle of the night. At least to the middle of the night. Some scholars said he must be there till what? Till Subh. He must pray Salatul Subh there. Sheikh Al-Albani and some others said pray Salatul Subh in Muzdalifah is a pillar. It's just like what one of the Arkan al-Hajj. But what scholars are upon is that it's not a pillar. Why? Because some companions, they left before the time of Subh. Over some of the wives of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Aisha and some others, Sauda, some left. Sauda, Aisha radiallahu anha did not leave, but she wished she had watched. She had left. When Messenger of Allah allowed people like Sauda and the likes. Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu, Abdullah bin Umar, all these people, they left before Subh. Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu anhu also said people threw pebbles at Mina even before sunrise. So all these are factors that let us know that being in Muzdalifah till the time of Subh is not a pillar, but it's something that is what? Wajib. Those who can live in the night are those that are what? Exempted, that are excused, like the women and the men that are going to what? Assist them. So these people, they are excused. But those who do not have excuse, they have to stay till what? Till the time of Subh. And what? They stay till the sun is, before the sun is rising, so they leave. Wallahu alam.
So that means what legal states like that?
It's against the Sunnah. What the people of Lagos do, that they leave Mina on the Subh of the night very early, even before the Subh, maybe by 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. they have left their tent to Arafah. This is Khilaf al-Sunnah. But do they have Hajj? They have Hajj. They have Hajj, but this is what? Against the Sunnah. Now the issue of Hajj, there are a lot of relaxations, so to say, in the laws of a lot of things. Take for instance, Urwa Abu Mudarris, the companion I mentioned, that left, said he didn't leave any mountain. He did not go to Mina on the 8th. He was just coming direct to Arafah. So and that's why scholars say, most scholars are of the opinion that being in Mina on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah for the pilgrim is not compulsory. Why? Because of what? Evidences like this. And that's why you see some people, they will decide to stay in Makkah till what? Till the night. They now live in the night, they'll be coming to Arafah direct. We said they've missed a lot of rewards, but we can't say they do not have what? Hajj. They have Hajj. This should not be encouraged, but at times there may be factors for it. Take for instance scarcity of buses. The buses, the available buses, may not be able to convey all the people are there. And those people who are what in charge of those buses, most of them do not have understanding of the deen. Yes, they may be Arabs, they may be Saudis, but Arabs even what? They are better than you in terms of what? Religious understanding. A lot of them are after what they are going to make. And they don't want much tab, they don't want much stress. So they want to do things fast. So that they carry out the pilgrims to. And you know, some people they become uncomfortable. You know, when your pilgrims, they see that what they have just been left in Mina, there are no buses coming to carry them, they start attacking you. You should have gone for that bus. Yeah. So some people, they want to avoid this attack on the part of their pilgrims. So they want to do what will please them. Though they know it's not the best for them in terms of what? Reward. But they don't want to be attacked. They don't want to be attacked. So and that's why we have to enlighten the people the more. That you have come here to do ibadah. You will face some stress. Take for instance the issue of Muzdalifah. When you get here, you are encouraged to sleep. Some people, they treat themselves as women. That I think there is rukhsah that we can go in the middle of the night. No, not for you. It's for the women and those who are going to assist them. Some able-bodied men, they want to go in the middle of the night as well. So when somebody who is in charge of the Hajj whatever say no, it's not for you, then it is time for them to get bus in the morning to go. He could not find bus easily. They start attacking. We have told you we should have gone and we had it. Because in the night there will be a lot of buses wanting to go in the night, so they can easily get bus. But when they stay at the time of Subh and after Subh, those buses should have occupied, because what you are intending to do, which is what doing the Sunnah, a lot of people are also interested in doing it that way. So the buses available may not be enough for you. So your pilgrims, they start attacking you. So some people, they fall for that. They say, I don't want to be attacked by my pilgrims, so let me quickly convey them to do what? To the Jamrah, so that they can stone. So they stone before what? The time that they are supposed to stone. Unlike the women that are allowed to stone at the night, according to the correct and the stronger opinion. Now some scholars like Sheikh Al-Albani rahimahullah have the opinion that you can't throw pebbles on the 10th of Muharram until after sunrise. So even the women that are allowed to go, his position is that when they go, they remain there until what? Sunrises. But wallahu alam, the correct opinion is that they can throw pebbles, because Asma left and what? She threw her pebbles and came back to Mina to observe Salatul Subh in Mina. Likewise, Abdullah bin Umar also established this, and these hadiths are in Sahih Muslim, more authentic than the hadith of Abdullah bin Abbas anhu, that it was said that they shouldn't throw until the sun rises. That hadith, some scholars said, is not authentic. So what I'm saying in essence is that some people, they want to treat themselves as women. So despite the fact that they are very strong, but because they don't want to do stress, and if it has to do with some things of dunya, you know, some people are ready to withstand for hours to watch football. But to exercise that caution, patience in order to do ibadah, people are what? They are restless and they are uncomfortable. So this is not something. So somebody, the preacher, so to say, or the guide must be emphasizing this to his pilgrims, because it's likely to go a lot of attack. These are things that you have witnessed, you have seen many times. They attack you. There was with respect to throwing the pebbles after Zawal. A woman wanted to do the Sunnah. She wanted to do the Sunnah. She followed us. Now some people who could not do that, they are left to throw the pebbles in the night, just as the people of Lagos will do, and this is what completely wrong. So the woman wanted to do everything, but you know, it was very hot that day. When we were coming, this woman fell. It's like she was about to have this what's it called, the heat stroke, or what do they call it? So the doctor had to rush her, and they had to start treating her. Now when we got back to the tent, the doctor started attacking us. He said, "You people, you are too rigid. You are too this, you are too that." So as if what? that is just the only person that I think all the people who practice the right thing will be affected. But if these people have understanding of the deen, they will know that somebody fell from the back of camel during the time of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the man died. And he said to them, "Iksiluhu, wash him, wakafiruhu fi thawbayhi, wrap him in his watch, in his garment. For now you are yawm al-qiyamati mulabbiya. He will be raised doing what talbiyah on the day of Qiyamah." The fact that you do something in the way that you feel should do, that doesn't mean musibah cannot come to you. And the fact that you do it in line with the sunnah doesn't mean what? You will not be tried. So trial can come in anywhere, from anywhere. So this man did not understand. It's like what? His own position is that because of the song we should allow people to go and throw pebbles. Now out of thousands of people who threw pebbles at the right time, maybe 2-3 persons fell and died. That doesn't mean what? It is wrong. So these are things that should be understood. But somebody who is a hajj guy, for instance, you will see a lot of attack, particularly if he is not the owner of the hajj whatever, because some of them are the owners are interested in making money. So, and anything that will make the pilgrims, the customers complain, you don't want it. So you want to make the malams to bend to suit what the customers want. But all these things are very, very simple things that if people have stuck to the correct thing. Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why did he delay it on the 11th? Why did he delay till what? Zawal. He should have thrown before Zawal, but he delayed it. He was expecting Zawal to come before he threw it. The same thing happens the 12th day. He delayed till the time of Zawal. So this is what the Sunnah. The fact that there are some errors or some things happen doesn't mean it's not the right path. So Allah. Supplication and dua the same. Now which one? Both of them. As Anas said that among us are those who are doing Allahu Akbar min al-mulabbi, and there are those who are doing labbaik Allahumma. When you are in Arafah, you can continue to do labbaik Allahumma, labbaik Allah, and you can you can be doing Allahu Akbar, then you supplicate. But towards the end, it is good that you do supplication. Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on his mount and he was supplicating in earnest. So supplication, that is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I want this, do this for me. This is the best time that one can do it. But the unfortunate thing is that when you go to the camp of people like Lagos and the likes, that is the time they are dancing. That is the time that they are dancing. So they will be singing start immediately they observe what Salatul Subhi and Salatul Asri Jam'an. They start congratulations. They start taking pictures and the likes. They have become allergic and the likes. So, and the malams, they start extorting people money. And things like that. Shaman, governor now. About 10 years or so ago, one of the drivers, when he saw the way people were dancing, said, what is wrong with your own people? He said, this is the way they will do. The driver was an Egyptian man. He said, he has never seen things like this before. That people will be dancing. So Allah musta'an.
Yes, on that. What if the authorities are scheduled for a group of people, for instance, to go to Jumua before Zawal? Now, do they oppose the Sunnah because of the authorities here?
Now, the blunt truth is that this authority of a thing, scheduling the throwing of the pebbles, this was as a result of the book written by Salman al-Auda. Salman al-Auda wrote a book and he made that scheduling that people should go and maybe they should be watched. Some people should go this time, some people should go this time. Now when we look at that scheduling, are they going to schedule some people to throw in the afternoon or not? Huh? So the heat of the sun that we are afraid of, definitely some people are going to suffer from it. So most of the people that are throwing in the night, if you look at it critically, maybe the African people, their whole schedule will be what? To go and throw in the afternoon. So they are not throwing at the scheduled time as well. They are just deceiving us. It's okay, it has been scheduled. This is what the government. Where did the government say? What did the government say concerning your own throwing? You Nigerians, show us the timetable that Nigerians or Africans should go and throw. Let's see the timetable. Whether the time that you are going at the night is when it's scheduled for you. So most likely that may not be the scheduled time for them. So but they want to throw in at night. So they are just using that schedule of a thing as what? As an excuse. Because when we want to follow that schedule, some people will be scheduled to throw in the afternoon. So those people, won't they be affected by the heat of... So the schedule should have been what? No throwing in the afternoon at all. And now let us see how it's going to be what? Crowdy. I hope I'm communicating. If we say, okay, don't throw in the afternoon, so we should throw at night, there will be so much crowd that it will be worse. So let people be free. Let them throw. If I know I'm able to throw in the afternoon, take for instance, it's after Zawal. I mean, after Zawal, so 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., I have all the time to throw till what? The subh of the next day. Not sunset, till the subh of the next day. So if I feel that I'm not comfortable with throwing in what? So I can throw, I can go and throw at the night, that is for the day, the previous day. I hope it is clear. So I have what? The opportunity to do that. So let me decide what I want to do. But they say, okay, it has been fixed that, okay, people in Nigeria or people in Africa should go and... Those who are fixed at the time that is very hot, what are they going to do? So that thing was as a result of the book written by Salman Auda, and there are these spots in the... So what you have just succeeded in doing is that what you have succeeded in what? Making people be crowdy at a particular time. How will this clear? That is what he has succeeded. Since he wrote the book now more than 8 or 10 years or so, it has not stopped. There is still what? There is still crowd. There is still crowd. And the blunt truth is that most people are not following that. They are not following it. So Allah.
I think I'll start from there. What if it is administrative? Because I actually watched a documentary where they examining the crowd during the Jumua, and some previous incidents, I think in the 90s, where there was lots of deaths and some other things. So they had to design some routes and some stuff. What if it is administrative? That they said, this is, let's go it this way, this region that way, that region that way, that's like that.
It's the same thing.
That is
when we say region.
No, usually they do it maybe Africa, this, Asia.
That's what I'm saying. What if among the Africans they put us in the afternoon?
No, irrespective of what people will have. People, of course, many of us, they still plan. For example, there was a time, they witnessed, they said, if you're going through this way, you come out through the other way. Some people still want to come out because it is shorter for them. People will still try, but of course, most of these things they cause accidents in the long run. So, but what if for administrative purposes to ease?
That's what I'm saying. Among the people, take for instance now, maybe the time that maybe the Africans are scheduled to go and through, there are people who cannot bear that among the Africans. What is the administrative?
I'm not talking about what really happens. If it is enforced.
No. That is, if the government imposes it on us, then we follow. But the problem is, now the government at times the Sunnah has not said compulsorily you should go and throw at Zawal. But it starts at what? Zawal. And you have enough time till what? The Subh. That is this one, the one that you want to throw today. You have time till what? The Subh of the next day. So this is what we have in the Sunnah. So if the government should make things easy, the government now say, okay, so and so region should go and through at this particular time. Their own intention is what? To make it easy, to control the crowd. But the problem is that there are some people who will not be able to watch. So they have forced them to do what they will not be able to do. So there should be another program, program for those who will not be able to do that. What I said earlier, that this suggestion was as a result of the book written by Salman Auda, and the Ministry of Information, they printed the book and they circulated it. So, but the broad truth is that the Ayatul Kibar Ulama, they're against the book. The Lajna Daima, they're against the book. So they will tell you that if you throw at the time that you're not supposed to throw, you are sinful. So, and the government did not dabble into it because they know this, the religious people that they put there, this is what they have said. Only that what they are somehow inclined towards somebody who is not among the Ayatul Kibar Ulama, just an ordinary person in the country, an ordinary malam in the country. Now he has made things so simple, more than what the Sharia has done. And today may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen us. You can see he wrote the book more than 10 years or so ago. The way he's drifting now, I mean Salman Auda himself, he has become a liberal. He has drifted away from the Sunnah to the extent that now he's a liberal. A liberal that anything goes now. And that's why scholars, they warn us, when we start compromising the religion gradually, one is likely to compromise to the extent that one goes out of the fold of Islam completely. Because one compromise will lead to another compromise. One compromise to another compromise. So, and this is the state that Salman Auda is in now. So, he's just somebody that what he does most now is just to jeer the people. You have been cheated. You have been this is being done. So, he jeered people. The Arab spring or winter came up and what? A lot of people were killed. And this same person now left for Europe and his family, they were doing what? They were doing shopping there, they were doing all this. White people are being killed in Egypt, people are being killed in what? It took his own family out of what? Out of the country. He went to Europe and he was engaging in enjoying his family. So his video with his family was brought alongside those who are being killed in Egypt. Look at the fatwa giver. He left. And this is what they do. They give fatwa and they run away. So, and the people will be suffering from what? The evil of the fatwa that they have given. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that that thing was as a result of the fatwa given by... But alhamdulillah, the scholars do not support the fatwa. They do not support that fatwa. They maintain what the text says. So the one who wants to follow the position of Salman Auda, which the Ministry of Information carried out, is left to that. Allah Allah.
So my question, I'm not sure if you made reference to that, about the Adhkar that he narrated, making Adhkar for the first 10 days of the how do we place this rather than restricting it to Ayyam Tashriq. Then also the hadith about the Prophet fasting the first 10 days.
First 9 days.
Sorry?
First 9 days.
The first 9 days.
Okay.
The hadith of Aisha that says he did not see Prophet fasting, and the hadith of Hafsa, how do we reconcile those? Then thirdly, the hadith, some people have the opinion that when you go for Eid, it is after the Imam has done his own slaughtering that you can do your own slaughtering. Or you have to listen to the khutbah before you do the slaughtering. What is the...
Now concerning the slaughtering of the sacrificial animal, that it must be after Salah. It must be after Salah. So after the slaughtering of the Imam, So must it be after the slaughtering of the Imam? Some scholars said yes. But what if the Imam is not slaughtering? Because there are cases that the Imam will not slaughter. Abu Bakr deliberately did not slaughter in some years. Remember that likewise, because they wanted to prove to the people that it's not compulsory. So, and that's why after the Salah is what, then let's assume that one is living in a place where Salatul Eid is not observed. So meaning the time that you know that they are likely to have prayed the Salah, even when you are living in a place where Salatul Eid is not observed and you want to slaughter. So the time of the Salah is what matters, that you know that in our area this is the time that the slaughter, they finish prayer. Even if you don't have the opportunity of going there, going to the prayer ground and you want to slaughter, so this may be based on the time that it's most likely that they are through with the Salah. So, but Wallahu Alam, there are some scholars who use the slaughtering of the Imam as a yardstick, because in some of the wordings of the Hadith they said what after the Imam, but in most wordings they said what ba'da Salah. So man zabha qabla Salah fashatu shatu lahmi. Whoever slaughters before the Salah is shatu lahmi. It's just ordinary meat. Wallahu Alam. The khutbah is not compulsory to listen to the khutbah of Eid. It's not compulsory. There is a hadith, though the hadith is controversial, but that hadith clearly stated that it is not compulsory. Whoever wants to go can go. For some scholars they have some issues with the hadith, but the practice has been what khutbah is not compulsory, particularly when some imams are saying things that are irrelevant. Some they are supposed to educate the people concerning their ibadat and things like that. So some people, what they will busy themselves with about dini fuani, kinika and things like that. So things that are irrelevant. And that was why one of the rulers during his time, Marwan, he moved the khutbah to before Salah. He moved the khutbah to before Salah. So Abu Sa'id al-Khudri said as he was mounting the pulpit, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri tried to put him that, no, it's after. He said, what you know is not practicable now. So Shaykh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah commenting on that, he said, why won't you say it's not practical? Because you busy people with things that are irrelevant. In the past, they will address people concerning their religion. Today, you talk about what things that are irrelevant. So people will feel that what you are talking about does not concern them, so they will leave. So if you are living, you live. If you are not living, you listen. But for you not to live and you are not listening, this is what is not okay. Because when you are discussing, you will be disrupting the khutbah as is going on. Wallahu a'lam. Now,
if you are living in a area where you are not praying there, probably I'm living in this environment and I don't observe my Eid here, and I went to after the bridge where I used to. After the bridge, the Tesla bridge.
Okay.
Where each grand, I usually observe my Eid there. On its own level, they did not observe their own Eid in my community. And I say something my.
No, once you have observed it, you have observed it. The best is for you to observe in your community. That's the best. One, it brings about love and things like that. Unless if there are people that you can't pray behind, maybe they are mushrikun kufar, then that's a different thing. But if they are Muslims, they may have some shortcomings. So leaving that place to go and observe Salah somewhere else, so that is not okay. So, and that's why I personally, the one they observe across the roads here, across the main road, so I don't go there. The reason is that we have one that they are observing here in our estate, so which is is original. Now I'm going across the road to go observe those people. Where are they coming from? Huh? Are they living around there? The Imam observing it will come from maybe all the way from Shangisha and the likes, based on what? The program of their Jama'ah. Then he wants everybody to come and watch. Who has made him Imam? So, for you to pray with your Jama'ah, with your community, that brings more love. Unless if you are sure that what they are mushrikun, then in that case, la karama, you don't pray behind them. Or if you are not sure, it is good for you to pray rather than going to watch another community. Now you are in what? Living in my two community, but you decide to go to First Stack community to go and pray there. So I'm not saying it is wrong completely, but it's not something that is encouraged. Now, okay, on the hadith of Hafsa, that of Hafsa is da'if. That making 10th of that is da'if, saying 10 days. Now that of Kana Yasum Tisa as al-Hijjah is from one of the wives of them, and that is what? Authentic. That of Aisha, that she did not see Messenger fast the 10th of the Hijjah, that is authentic as well. But they say what? Man alima hujjatun ala man lam ya'lam. Who knows is evidence against the one who does not know. The fact that Aisha said Messenger will not do, and another wife said what? He will do. So the one who knows is evidence on the one who does not know. Just like when Aisha said, Man haddathakum an Rasulullah kana yabulu qa'iman fala tusaddiquhu. Whoever tells you that Messenger will urinate standing, don't believe him. Ma kana yabulu illa qa'idan, he will only urinate squatting. So yes, the hadith is authentic, the author is authentic. But the hadith of Udhayfa is authentic, that he was going with the Messenger of Allah one day and he got to a refuse dump of some people, and what he wanted to urinate. Said, Fatanahaytu, I distanced myself from him. Thumma qala li udnu, he said, move closer. And said, Fabala qa'iman, and he urinated standing. So this is Udhayfa, who witnessed, saw. He has more evidence than the one who negates. The one who negates, he or she is talking about what he or she knows. Somebody said what? An accident happened at my two bus stop, for instance. Somebody said no, accident did not happen. Huh? So which one are we going to take? Two pieces of information. So the fact that somebody said no, I didn't see anything. Somebody said, the one who said I saw has more what? Weight than the one who say, because the fact that you did not see doesn't mean what? It didn't happen. Unless if we can see some other evidences that let us know that the one who negates his position is correct, then we'll go by those. But just ordinary statement, that will not be accepted. Huh? So, Wallahu A'lam. Now the azkar, any azkar one can do. Ordinarily we are encouraged to do azkar a lot, ordinarily. So Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, La yazalu lisanuka ratban min dhikrillah. So doing a lot of azkar, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. So one should just intensify and increase this in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, and increase in the citation of the Quran. Allahu Akbar. Now, Takbirat, we can start from the Yom Arafah, and it ends, according to the stronger opinion, on the in the evening of 13th. In the evening of 13th. But before that, we can be doing some what? Adhkar.
What's the fate of our women who usually go to Hajj without an Umrah, or they usually matchmake? Understand?
Now, women who perform Hajj without mahram, all the scholars, they agree that they have Hajj, but with sin. They have the sin of what? Of traveling without mahram, but they have the reward of performing Hajj. Now, some scholars are of the opinion, if it is compulsory Hajj, like Al-Imam Shafi and Imam Malik, that a woman can go fi rufqatin ma'muna, if there is safe company. safe company. She has safe companions that she's going to move with, that she can go without a mahram. So this is the view of Imam Malik, likewise Al-Imam Shafi'i. Abu Hanifa, Imam Ahmad are of the opinion that she cannot travel without a mahram. And this, wallahu alam, appears to be the stronger opinion. A man came to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, Ya Rasulullah, inni kutibtu fi ghaswatin. O Messenger of Allah, I've been enlisted in a battle. Wa mara'ati turidu al-hajja, and my wife wants to perform Hajj. Messenger of Allah said, what? Hujja ma amrati, go with your wife. Don't allow her to go alone. Despite the fact that the man had been enlisted in what? In one of the expeditions. Messenger of Allah said he should go with his wife. That is one. In Surah Darqutni, the hadith comes in a clearer way. Said what? La tahujju imra'atun illa ma'adhi mahram. A woman should not perform Hajj. It comes in what? In nephew. وبصيغة بمعنى النهي. La tahujju imra'atun. That is, a woman does not perform Hajj illa ma'adhi mahram, except with what? The mahram. So this buttresses the position of the A'imma, who have the opinion that a woman must perform a Hajj with a mahram. Now, as for those who say if it is compulsory Hajj, that she can go without a mahram, because this is something that is obligatory. This is something that is what? Obligatory. So if she can't find a mahram, she can go as long as what? There is safe company. As long as there is safe company. Ibn Azmi argues in favor of this by saying that one, the Prophet ﷺ said, La temna'u ima Allah masajid Allah. Don't prevent, O husbands, don't prevent the female servants of Allah, masajid Allah, from going to the mosque of Allah. And which is the best mosque of Allah? Which one? The Kaaba. Said, so this tells us that what? She can go. Then the hadith that a time will come that a woman will travel from Hira to the house of Allah. La takhafi illallah. And she will not be afraid of anything except Allah. He said that's another evidence. She will travel from Hira to the house of Allah. So when she comes to the house of Allah, she's coming to do what? Ibadah. That means it is permissible. But the majority, they said, the fact that Messenger of Allah says something of such will happen doesn't mean what is encouraging. Just as he said what, there are some things that will happen. And those things are not good things. So we will say what is sanctioning the happening of that thing or those events. So Wallahu A'lam. So to be on the safe side is better for us not to perform Hajj without mahram. However, most people today we see Hajj as a kind of what's it called? Tourism. Kind of tourism. Somebody is supplicating Allah, I want to perform Hajj. Make this Hajj possible for me. Is it because you want to do ibadah or you want it to be on record? Then so and so person has performed Hajj. I've performed 20 Hajj, 40 Hajj. Somebody will come to you and tell you, as I'm speaking with you, I've performed more than 40 something Hajj. You're welcome. How many did Allah accept from you? You can't tell. So why this boasting of a thing? Why boasting of a thing? So if you see Hajj as something that is ibadah, you want to do it the way it should be done. But frankly speaking, a lot of people, they see it as what? It's a kind of tourism. So I want it to be on record that I've performed Hajj. So this intention should be adjusted. May Allah assist us. Allah. Now.
Most of the judge that here, most from the UK, they have been from Nigeria as well. I believe that will go until the afternoon.
Okay.
So when is the crowd? I tell you, the apartment of Friday as well that very day. The crowd was so huge. So we saw people falling like they fell, not come at the gate. My wife fell as well. We got given the place for us. So we were getting more here. The crowd was so huge. So I think the arrangement started that year. So the following year going for the
House 94?
994.
Okay.
I'm like, these are still very small. Let's get very family from the UK. And that was that who now get estimate. And that was some people like there's nothing for us. People just way out or crowd and like this. Swings from the arrangement of separately move by this and that very year. For the 4 years back again, was one this type of people going in and out.
Now, the issue of the grouping of a thing that maybe some people should go as mentioned. This is something that it may be useful if people they keep to it somehow, but people will not keep to it. Then this issue that you are talking about, this stampede of a thing, wallahi, is not as a result of what? The thing itself. It's as a result of our own impatience. Now you want to throw pebbles. All you need to do is for you to move close to the basin and just throw. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And what? You turn, you leave. Another person goes. But what do people do? Look at that wall, for instance. Somebody will be here and the person is throwing from afar like this, wanting to throw something. This is not matter of who is the best shooter. It's a matter of just ibadah, simple ibadah. You go, you throw. But somebody is throwing and he's fighting with shaitan and things like that, giving everybody blow and then some people have decided, I think this experience in 2004, some people, they have decided to sit by the place of the pebbles, where people are throwing the pebbles. They are waiting there. Maybe they've come to that place, maybe from the night, they will sit down there. Some people are coming from behind, so they are likely to watch, trample on them, and this is likely to cause a kind of stampede. This I witnessed with my 2 eyes 2004. So 2005, that led to the death of about 300 something people. Because some Pakistanis, they was just sitting by the... So most of these things that we see as evil from this age of a thing is our handiwork. And when the fitna comes, not only those who are what? Who have committed that thing will suffer from it. So it's not the Sharia at all. Fine, when we have large crowd, you cannot avoid it. There will be one victim or the other. But most of these deaths that are being recorded are as a result of not following the Sunnah. Not following the Sunnah. So you go there, you throw, you leave. When you want to supplicate, you move away from the place you are staying. All these are recorded. But the problem is no, some people will go and sit there. Somebody will stay there and say, I'm waiting for my friend. You have thrown. Leave that place. Give room for other people so that they can throw as well. So when they say don't return through this place, we say they are too rigid. As the government claims, the death of 2 years ago was a result of things like this. That people who had passed through some place, they were coming through that place again. Because their tents were very close to that place. And as we have the report that some Iranians, they deliberately did that thing in order to watch, in order to stain the Saudi government. So most of these things that are being, that are happening as a result of, Yes. So if with one life we follow the Sunnah, I don't see when we all go out in the evening, it's not possible all of us to go out in the afternoon. Some people, they can't bear it, so they will stay behind. Even the issue of tawaf, look at the issue of tawaf. It's something that is happening. You as a man, you are doing tawaf, and behind you is a woman. That is against the sunnah. The sunnah of Allah told his wife, Salama, وَطُوفِ مِنْ وَرَاءِ النَّاسِ, do tawaf from the back of the people, that is far away from them. Aisha radiallahu anha, when she wanted to do tawaf, she would wait till what? Till the evening, in the night, that people would have watched. A lot of people would have left that place. But today, the women are also competing with the men. You are doing ruku, you as a man. The person that your head is touching his buttocks is a woman. In what? In Masjid al-Aram. You are in what? In Noro. The person beside you is what? Is a woman. Is that the Sharia? No. Clearly, Rasulullah said what? The best salah of a woman is what? Is in her house. Where is her house? The hotel. Someone may say, but you know, you cannot liken Kaaba to... Where did he say that statement? He said it in his what? In his masjid. So don't tell me you can't liken Kaaba and Medina to other mosques. When he said to the women, the best salah is what? The salah in your house. It was in his masjid that he was saying that. Yes, he said they should not be prevented. But that doesn't mean what? They should... When you see that there are evil, and you see funny questions that some people will be asking scholars, that when I was doing tawaf, you know, and I released, and I ejaculated. Why will you ejaculate while you are doing tawaf? No, it's not funny question. No. These are questions that people will ask, because the person that is in front of him is a woman, and he has relied on the woman. So, and what? You know, for maybe 2-3 minutes, you'll be going like that on the back of a woman, or a woman on the back of a man. Is that the Sharia? No. So most of these things that we see is as a result of not sticking to what? The Sunnah. Not the Sunnah at all. The Sunnah is not guilty. Allahu A'lam. Okay. Inshallah, when should we use inshallah? Or when can we use inshallah? Inshallah has to do with something that has not happened. MashaAllah has to do with what has happened. Somebody, for instance, now maybe he bought a car, and we see the car, very beautiful car. Say, MashaAllah, Barakallahu fiha. MashaAllah, that is, this is what Allah had willed. May Allah put barakah in it. But you say what? Insha'Allah. It doesn't have what? Relevance here. Okay, I'm going to buy a car, Insha'Allah. You have not bought it. So you say what? Insha'Allah for what has not happened. But MashaAllah for what has happened. So when you are saying MashaAllah, you will say what? If it's somebody that is a kind of means for you to get that thing, you say MashaAllah wa sha'a fulan. This is what Allah willed and this person. No. You say MashaAllah thumma sha'a fulan. This is what Allah willed, then this person. Because if Allah had not willed it, that person that was the means for getting it wouldn't have been what? Wouldn't have gotten it. No.
Sorry on that. Somebody also asked, what about the Jumua? Do you say, Allah give me and Allah give me children, inshallah?
No, when we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should be definite. We should not, we should be definite and sure, certain. Udu'ullah wa antum muqinuna bil ijabah. Call on Allah and rest assured that Allah is going to accept your ibadah, your dua. So to say what? Allah give me so and so, inshallah. Or may Allah put barakah, inshallah. No, don't do dua like that. Somebody may say, what about labasa ta'urun, inshallah? Labasa ta'urun, inshallah, doesn't fall under this. Labasa ta'urun, inshallah, according to the correct explanation, it's not dua, it's khabar. Labas Tawurun inshallah, that is, Allah is going to use this as a means of wiping away your sin, inshallah, if Allah wills. I hope this is clear. This is khabar, it's just information, not dua. I hope you get the difference. So Tawurun inshallah, that is, this is going to be something that Allah will use to wipe away your sin, inshallah, if Allah wills. Wallahu a'lam. Okay. Now, yes, some scholars authenticated that hadith, that is, Abdul Dua is the dua of Arafah, which is La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu qadir, as it has been said. It has the addition that Afdal ma qultu ana wa nabiyyin min qabli, the best thing that I said and the prophets before me said is this. So some scholars authenticated it, but generally speaking, adhkar we do on the day of Arafah, labbaika, Allahu akbar, la ilaha illallah, all these adhkar are recommended. Allahu a'lam.
Is it permissible to sew different styles with hijab?
Different styles? I don't understand. Sewing different styles with the hijab. Well, if as long as the hijab fulfills the conditions, if it fulfills the condition, which is what every part of the body must be covered, and the garment is free, not skin tight, not transparent, not perfumed. So all the necessary conditions are fulfilled. No harm. No harm. Wallahu a'lam.
So you said the hadith of Sadaqah.
No.
And Aisha, so also Hafsa was going. And that of Aisha was also interesting. But Aisha did not see the Rasul.
What do you mean? Okay.
So
Now,
that of Afsa was going, and that of Aisha is going. Afsa in the narration said, I saw the Rasul. Aisha said, she didn't see the Rasul. Now, your explanation said that to give preference to someone that has seen over the person that has seen. So what about the doing of when you have a sweet habit, you don't move it over a habit that is going.
when you have a no, there's another sahih. There's another sahih from one of the wives of the Messenger of Allah, not Aisha, not Hafsa. The name of that wife is not mentioned. So are we going to say it's da'if? No, as-sahaba kullum udul. The companions, they are all udul. So from one of the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, based on that hadith, and that is the hadith I quoted. Kan Rasulullah yasumu tis'a dhil hijjah, 9 days. Yes, of the Hijjah. So this is not the hadith of Hafsa, because the name of Hafsa was not mentioned in it. From one of the wives of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it could be the name of the no, not a companion. Can what? As long as the soap is not perfumed. If it's not perfumed, one can use it. Well, I can't say a specific. If it's not perfumed, we have perfumed soaps. Now,
from the experience you narrate,
okay, I can hear you.
as a movie, and we observe that the woman is making yoga, and you push her away. Am I seeing it right? Because from, like, I have a friend at the last campaign, he was one of the people that fell down, and the woman was trying to hold his hand. And at that point, he said somebody too was resting on the body. So the moment he was able to push the woman not touch her hands, and he run out of the crowd. So is it simple when you doing that? Because the person needed assistance to drag her home.
What is advisable is for the one who is doing tawaf, should try to move away from the crowded area. Because once you go into the crowded area, you are likely to face this thing. But when you move, even when you are in the crowded area, try as much as possible to move away from where it's very crowded. Try to move away from there, because there is no how you can avoid that. If you want to take, for some people, they are interested in what I want to touch the Hajar al-Aswad, I want to touch the Rukn Yamani. Once you have decided that you want to touch Rukn Yamani, you want to touch Hajar al-Aswad, rest assured that what you are going to back women and they are going to back you. Rest assured. Because some women, they don't mind doing anything. They must touch that thing. They must. If they will sleep on you completely, they don't mind. They have to touch that thing. And some men, they don't mind. If they will kill somebody, they are ready to kill. They just must touch that thing. So this is something that. So when you see that it's being crowded, try to avoid. There will be a space that you can pass, because as they are going to the crowded area, they are creating space that you can pass. So you just pass and go. But I've not touched Rukn Yamani. Is it a must? I've not touched it as well. It's not a must. What is the benefit of the Rukn Yamani that you touch and what? You commit zina. You touch Rukn Yamani and you commit what? Lesser zina. And you are what? The lesser zina is being committed. Why you are doing what? The ibadah in the house of Allah. So wallahi, these questions that I said earlier, people will ask scholars a lot. As I was doing it, so a woman was in bed, I now ejaculated. How did you ejaculate? Doing ibadah, ejaculating? So we should try and move away from the crowded area. Wallahu. Now concerning the hadith, I'm trying to the hadith, as I said earlier, was reported by Abu Dawud from Ustadh said Abu Awana told him from Al-Hur bin Sayyah, from Unayda, the son of Khalid, and Imra'atihi, from his own wife. So and Ba'da Azwaji Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, from one of the wives of the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, قالت كان الإسلام يصوم تسعة ذي الحجة. So from the wives of one of the wives of the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now the question is, you said something earlier.
First 9 days or the 9th day.
No, you said the report is from the companion. Okay. Now, that is the one who reported from his own wife. From now.
From the west, besides the USA, and he has an issue in terms of praying Jumua because of his work, because of the environment where he's staying. He said, like, for example, now, as Dhul is just like this, there is no masjid within that community. So, but in their office, there are some Muslims, but I think those are the management. They usually pray, but they don't allow them to observe. So what's his, and he has been there for some years now. What's his position?
Any place you are working that you are not allowed to go out for Salatul Jum'ah, it's not a place that one should remain there. Because Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man fatatu Salatul Jum'ah taba Allahu ala qalbi." So whoever missed 3 Jum'ah, Allah will seal his heart. So it's not a place that one should remain working. That constantly and continuously one will be missing what Salatul Jum'ah. So it's not a place that one should continue to work. Wallahu a'lam. Huh? Now if the person is a traveler, that's a different case. That's a different case. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.